Hello everyone and welcome back to TripleJump. My name is Peter.
And my name is Ashton.
Hello Ashton.
Hello Peter.
We're here to talk about your first weekend with this beauty.
With the OLED Switch.
It's the OLED Switch.
Or
It's
the
not
Switch
a regular
OLED.
Switch, is that what it's officially
I don't know.
called? Oh.
It's kind of a bit of both on the internet,
What is
but
it?
it's the new one. It says Nintendo Switch, then just says
OLED model.
down here.
Okay,
so.
That's fine. That's what we'll go with. The
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch OLED model.
Mm-hmm.
Your first weekend.
Correct.
Have you been enjoying yourself?
I have. To get it right out of the way right now, I haven't noticed a huge amount of difference.
Right. I mean, that's an important. That's probably the main discussion point, really.
But it is because there isn't a huge amount of difference when we think about it. Obviously, the whole point. Let me just get my notepad out. I've written some notes.
Yeah. Professional.
The whole point of the OLED Switch is that it's got a better screen.
Right.
And yes, it does have a better screen. It's bigger and it's brighter and the colours look more vibrant.
Yeah.
But it's a Switch.
Right.
And I have mixed feelings about the Switch. I really like it and I really want to like it, but I don't ever play on it. Like I have one and it sits there and I'm like, oh, I could play a game on the Switch.
Yeah.
And then I just don't.
Right. So for context, you had a regular Switch as well.
Yeah, I have a regular
beforehand.
Switch that I bought 2020 to play Animal Crossing because we all did.
That's what everyone did.
And
LOL, lockdown.
LOL, lockdown, memes. But yeah, so this one came out last week on the 8th of October. It's the brand new one.
Yeah.
When this one came out, they lowered the price of the regular Switch. So this is £310. And the regular Switch is £260 now.
Right.
So for £50 more, you do get a better screen.
Yeah.
It is bigger, and I do like that the screen is bigger. I think it's makes so much more sense than on the regular Switch. There's quite a lot of wasted space around the outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, for £50, you get an OLED screen, which is pretty good, really. If you've not got a Switch yet, and you're wanting to get one, there's no reason you shouldn't get this one.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, if you've got one and you're thinking, oh well, I have to get the new one, you don't have to get the new one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're really
into
screen
it. Yeah. So how I said it last night to a couple of friends was, if you play on the Switch a lot in handheld mode and you use it a lot to play on the go, or maybe you're on trains a lot and you're using it all the time, then maybe a screen upgrade makes sense for you, because maybe it might not hurt your eyes as much. It's got a longer battery life because it's an OLED screen instead of the other one. But if you find yourself playing on the TV a lot and just using it kind of as a console,
effectively,
basically, then there's so minimal difference
because of your screen is your TV.
The screen is the TV, and it's still only a 1080p HD output onto the TV screen.
Right. Okay.
So it's not 4K.
Yeah.
So, but there was rumors that it was going to be 4K, but then it's not.
Well, and there's people, people have been talking for a long time about a Switch Pro, and when this was announced, it was like, is that the Switch Pro? And you've got some of the people in the room and all saying, oh no, the Switch Pro still coming.
It's still coming.
So we'll see where that goes. There are a couple of other features with this thing that again will benefit some people in terms of whether they're more home players versus whether they're like on the go players. I don't know if they're in your notebook.
They are in my notebook.
Oh,
so
good.
I think
they're in my head too.
The best thing about the new Switch is this stand. So on the regular Switch, the stand is like this big.
It's like a lolly stick.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
And every time I put it out, I think I'm going to break it. Like it's going to break. This one is so good. You can have it in standing upping mode. You can put it all the way down to like lie down mode if you want like a little bit of raised mode. And it's really good. It feels so much sturdier than the other one. Like I don't feel like I can just snap this off. I mean, it's still such thin.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see, like it's really thin.
Yeah, but
it doesn't feel like it's going to just snap off.
Yeah.
I like. Oh, this table's dirty. We've already got dirt on it.
No. A pristine new Switch.
Pristine new Switch that's got my fingerprints all over it. So I really like the stand, and I don't know why this wasn't implemented in the original Switch anyway. Because, like I say, it's so much sturdier, and I think that it just makes so much more sense for what the console was sold as. The dock is also a bit nicer. The dock's a bit smaller. And rather than the back kind of flipping down, the back comes completely off.
Right.
And the dock also has a LAN
It does. Yeah, you can plug an Ethernet cable in.
Yeah,
now,
so you can get a bit better internet on it as well, which is nice.
For some people, definitely that makes a huge difference. Like, I know from when we worked at home that if I was trying to do uploads and stuff, it was like, unless I'm wired in, it's just not going to be doable because of the state of my internet. So I know that if I had a Switch and I wanted, like, my PlayStations have always been connected, like, wired in.
Yeah,
because,
same.
Like, why would I just sit with my terrible internet when that's an option? So that's good. Yeah. So that's certainly beneficial for home players.
Yeah.
I know there's something else as well that would be good if you do, for example, play it on the train a lot, something like that. It now has Bluetooth headphone connectivity,
so you can connect your Bluetooth headphones from the get-go. So if I had mine now, I could definitely connect them and use it, which is really good because a lot of people do have Bluetooth headphones now.
Yeah.
So, and it also does still have the headphone dock. They've not like got rid of it or anything. It's good. Right there on the top.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's a great thing as well. It also has enhanced audio. So one thing they said, as well as the screen, apparently it also has enhanced audio. I didn't notice that so much, but then I'm not really one that would probably notice it anyway.
Right.
But it does apparently have enhanced audio. So if you're someone that does play it out loud a lot, which I think that, again, I don't know how many people do.
Yeah.
If I'm playing, you shouldn't if you're on a train.
Yeah.
Or if you're like using your Switch portably, you're probably either going to be playing it with no sound or with headphones on.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I saw someone that wasn't like a child playing a Switch out loud.
Yeah.
Just in handheld mode. So it is interesting. I don't know if like many people will utilize that, but at least it is an option if you're someone that really cares about the audio of your handheld device.
I think that's a really important distinction, though. Like, it's all well and good releasing a new model and saying, oh, it's got enhanced audio, or now you can do this and that, whatever. Number one, are those things actually discernible to the regular user? Like, if you put them side by side, would someone be able to say whether that sounds better or not? And number two, even if they are technically on paper an improvement, are they actually beneficial to people depending on how they use their Switch? Because as I say, it's all well and good looking at the specs of this thing and saying it's an improvement on the last one, therefore I should get it. But I guess ultimately it's going to come down to what kind of Switch player you are.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that again with the screen, I put my this one and my one side by side. My two
Switches.
I actually have two now. We got sent this. This was gifted to us, by the way, by PrettyGreen.com.
Right, yeah.
So we didn't pay for this, just putting that out there now. No. But this is like an office one. It's not mine. But yeah, I played side by side on both of them.
Yeah.
And there is like visible differences. I think the bigger screen, it's only a tiny bit bigger, but it does feel a lot bigger. I think it also makes the game, like the whole thing, feel a bit slimmer. I know that's probably just an illusion,
right?
But it feels a little less chunky, even though it's the same size.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because there's not those big black bars all the way around.
Yeah.
And it is brighter and it's more vivid. There's been a couple of images that I've seen online where that doesn't necessarily look at its best. Things look a little bit blown out.
Yeah.
But I think it's because games weren't necessarily built for it to be.
Yeah, if they were developed on a different screen and then.
Yeah. But I think, if you're playing games side by side, you'll notice a big difference. But if you're just playing it as a Switch, it looks good, but it wouldn't be something where you'd go, oh my God, is that an LED screen you've got on your Switch? Wow,
nice.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Also, like I was saying earlier, the battery life. So on the original battery life for the OG Switch, it was about 2.5 to 5.5, or 2.5 to 6 hours.
Right.
This is apparently, because of the LED screen, obviously depending on the game you're playing, 4.5 to 9 hours. So there is more battery life on it. So if you're someone, again, who plays it a lot in handheld mode and maybe it's on a lot of time where you can't play it, you can't charge it all the time, then maybe this is something that you look into because it's got a longer battery life.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the game you're playing. So they said on the original one for something like Legend of Zelda, it's only 5.5 hours. It's not that full 6. So if you are playing games that require a lot of juice, then it might drain it quicker.
Yeah. And it's got more internal storage as well, I think.
Yeah. Right? So the original Switch was 32 gigs. This is 64 gig.
Right.
But again, that will fill up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it does still have the micro SD port, so you
Right.
can upgrade your storage. But it is good that it is, again, £50 for a better screen, enhanced audio, and 32 extra gig of storage is pretty good. Again, my whole thing with this, if you haven't already got a Switch and you're looking to get one, maybe spend a bit more money and get this.
Because as you say, all of that for 50 quid is actually
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
However, if you've got a Switch and you're thinking, I'm definitely going to upgrade because it's going to be so much different, it's not. There's no performance in upgrades.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same Switch. It just looks different in terms of like visual wise. We don't know about controller drift yet.
True.
Because that's obviously something that's big currently on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because they can't seem to fix it. Or maybe they just don't want to fix it.
Yeah.
But we don't know if they have changed anything yet. Obviously, it takes playing it for a while to notice it.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's fixed. But I guess that's going to come with time to see if it's actually going to make a difference.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's been my weekend with it. I've enjoyed playing on it. It's finally made me go back to actually playing on the Switch.
Yeah.
I played some Mario. I played some Pokemon. I played some Metroid on it.
Yeah.
The new Metroid Dread game, which we're doing a quick scope about. So check that one out. Yeah, and I think it's a good enhancement on the Switch.
Right.
Do I think they could have just waited and brought out the set like a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro? Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
But for an in-between thing, because that's what it is, it's fine.
Yeah, if it turns out
fine.
she's fine.
She's fine.
Yeah, she is.
She's fine.
If it turns out they're also doing the so-called Switch Pro at some point, then yeah, maybe this is a little bit redundant.
It's like, the Switch Lite, they brought that out because they were like, here's a cheaper one. This is like, here's one that's a bit better.
Expensive.
It's a bit better.
But hang on.
Hang
Wait
on.
for the next even more expensive one.
We're going to make sure
4K
this one's going to be
and stuff.
crazy.
Yeah.
I also like that it's white. I know that you can obviously buy Joy-Cons that are like white or grey for the original Switch, but I do like the white. I think the white looks sexy. The dock is white. I think it's a bit sexy in the white.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more grown up. This is a Switch for grown ups.
Sleek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just sleek.
It's not all colourful like children's toys.
No.
No.
Red and blue.
Gross.
White.
Get out of here.
For adults.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you very much,
That's okay.
Ashton, for your insight.
That's okay.
And stick with the channel for more first impressions and excellent insights about sexy colours and things like that. And also a quip scope for Metroid as well.
Yeah.
That might already be out. I don't know what order these things are coming out.
Spoiler alert, I'm really bad at it.
She's really bad at it, and we're recording them on the same day.
Yeah.
So who knows which one's out first.
I'll be in the same outfit.
Oh, fantastic.
So
wonderful. Stay with TripleJump. My name is Peter.
and my name is
My name is
Ashton.
Ashton.
And we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
Love you, bye.